If you stumbled across this video today, it's because you need a little tough love. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything for you. It's time to get yourself together, get yourself motivated, get yourself disciplined so you can go all in. That's what you want, right? That's what you say you want. So why have we not started doing it yet? Our quote today is a song lyric actually by Billy Joel. Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile, but if you're so smart, then tell me why are you still so afraid? I was listening to this song the other day and the line that got me was, if you're so smart, then tell me why are you still so afraid? And for a second I'm like, what does that have to do with slowing down? What does that have to do with, taking your time? How does that correlate to me being afraid? And it clicked because that line is really saying you're afraid because you're doubting. You're afraid things aren't going to work out for you. And that's why you feel the need to go so fast. And that's why you feel the need to rush it. That's why you feel the need to not take a break. Your idea of being productive constantly, of pushing towards this end goal is out of fear, is out of scarcity, is out of lack. There is no timeline because at the end of the day, what does Billy Joel say? Vienna waits for you. And while I'm here to give you a little tough love to motivate you, I also want to say, you start today, that's okay. You failed 5 times before, that's okay. You've been doing this for years and you need to pivot and start something new, that's okay. So now I'm going to ask you about your integrity. You said you wanted it. You said you were serious this time. You said you were going all in. So where's the action? Where's the change in habits? Where's the discipline? We're so often worried about everyone else's honesty with us, everyone else's integrity, that we need to stop and take a look in the mirror at ourselves. You may denounce someone else for being a liar towards you, but have you recounted how many times you've lied to yourself? How many times you haven't kept your word to yourself? How many times you told yourself you were going to do something and you didn't do it? How many times you've given yourself empty promises? What would you say about your own character if you listed those out for yourself? If you went back and you looked at that? Sometimes we focus way too much on everybody else when you should be focusing on you. I think one place that shows up is social media. Social media reeks of judgment we don't have the right to give. If we spend as much time focusing on ourselves as we did going out and judging others for what they decide to do with their lives, the choices that they decide to make, imagine how much would change. Unfortunately, we see it in comment sections everywhere, judging people for the things that they do, for the careers that they've pursued, for how they're acting on the internet, for what they're doing. Yes, you can feel a type of way about what someone does. You can have a judgment in your mind. But that energy that you are putting towards amplifying that, towards writing a think piece about that and posting it, towards commenting on that, is doing nothing for you. Focus on you, focus on your goals, focus on your self-care, focus on nourishing the relationships with the people you love. Because all that is a distraction. And we have enough of those. I hope you see I'm making another point with social media. It's got to be limited a little bit. It's a distraction. It's a huge distraction. I like to say social media has a good and a bad side. And unfortunately, one of its bad sides is how much time and how much distraction it can take out of your life. There are so many things that people have to give in this world, and social media provides them an opportunity to do that. So I'm never going to say that it's not an amazing thing. It's not an amazing tool. On the other hand, as much as you can use it to receive information, to grow, to learn, it can be used to bash, to tear people down, to stop you from going after the things you want in life. So you need to put a balance on it. I'm telling you now, it's time to get it under control. The addiction is real. I have it too. And I literally have to stop myself. I'm like, okay, we're done. We're done for the day. Social media experts predict that in the next years, it will be more about lifestyle content. There is no more niching down. You have a million things you want to do in life. I fully believe that we are multifaceted. We are multi-passionate humans who are meant to do many things, who are meant to live out all these dreams, to live out all these goals. But let's be honest, you can't do them all at once. And that's why things aren't getting done the way that you wish they were. Because you're trying to do everything at once, trying to pursue everything at once. So let's combine the fact that you're multi-passionate, multifaceted, and your attention span sucks because social media has put it down to about 0. The distractions that we have in this life right now, in this world, have decreased it to the point where it's so hard for you to even focus on one thing. So you're, bopping back and forth from all the ideas that you have in your mind that you want to pursue, that you want to do, mixed in with the idea that we're running out of time, is stopping you from actually even completing one goal, actually even achieving one of the things that you want to pursue. to the point where you feel secure, you feel consistent, you feel steady with it. Don't let the distractions of the world have you forget that you can slow down. You don't have to rush. You can take each goal, each vision, each creative project one step at a time, one bite at a time. And believe me, I've been in that position where I have all these things that I want to do. And then even worse, it makes me start doubting myself. And I sit there and I look at myself and I'm like, you're doubting yourself again. Why? You have all this talent, all these gifts, all this love and kindness, all these ideas that you want to put into the world. And something's holding you back. Something's stopping you from continuing. Is it because you don't have that physical reward, that validation, that degree yet to prove to yourself that it's good enough? I think we all have gifts that we are given that we are simply uncovering as we go through life. Some innate skills that we feel the desire to hone in on, to improve on. And how selfish would it be for you to not share that with the world? What is it for? Is a gift not meant to be given? And I know we're in the day and age of social media, but don't think that when I say share your gifts that it has to just be on social media, because there are many other places that need what you have that aren't an online presence. I think now more than ever we need to transfer some of our gifts, some of our talents into the physical world. You know, social media and the internet is a great way to mass spread that, to reach people who are in a space where they don't necessarily have the funds to maybe get your physical gift. They don't necessarily have the ability to travel to where you are to be a part of that. There are so many ideas and gifts and talents that you need to manifest into this reality. I know we all have a vision of the world that we can create. And if you don't do those things, if you don't do what you came here for, what a waste. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a waste. Not a waste. You are inhibiting yourself from expressing this desire that you have in your soul. And then you're not allowing anybody to heal, to learn, to grow, to experience, to be entertained by whatever it is you have, which is a crime in itself. So get on it. ASAP. Please and thank you. Kisses. And I can speak to you all day telling you what to do, but you have to do it at the end of the day. It has to be you. And no, the world is not fair. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. But as much as you know that this world is not fair, why do you still continue to placate your success on the measures of others? The measures of those telling you what you need to have to reach a certain height when they may not have had half of what you have, or they may have been given it for free. The problem is that when you compare yourself to a millionaire, someone who owns a nonprofit, someone who's a famous artist, is you don't know their journey. You don't know what they did. You don't know where they were last year and where they were this year. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes of their life. You're comparing an outward perception of somebody else to your full perception of yourself. You know probably 90% more about yourself than you know about them. So to sit there and compare yourself to another person, to their journey, you're not giving yourself any credit, because maybe in 1 year, they grew their income only $5,000. They became that millionaire. Now you hear that they're a millionaire and you're like, oh my gosh, what? How did they get there? Yet you may have gone from a part-time job of just earning $35,000 a year to a full-time job of earning $75,000 a year. You're not a millionaire, but you've jumped hurdles and bounds in 1 year compared to what they've done. When you compare yourself and someone else in that way, you don't get to appreciate the growth that you've had. You don't sit there and relish in the qualities and characteristics that got you to this point. You don't allow yourself to appreciate, to be present, to be grateful, so that you can bring more of what you just did for yourself into your life. Maybe you're in your own rock bottom right now, but the key to rising out of the ashes after hitting rock bottom is taking things one day at a time, planning for better, but not worrying about anything more than the present and where you plan to be while you do so. That downward spiral is created by the continuous feed into the bad, the continuous worry over the future or how things could get worse, the continuous lack of action due to the fog that you've created based on this continuous worry. And as much as it seems like you're not going to make it out of that spiral, the same goes for an upward spiral. There's always something you can find that's good in a day. Let's say you had 1 win today, 5 losses. You bet you're going to feel the anger, the sadness, the pain, or whatever those 5 losses were when they happened during that day. But that's not what you're bringing into tomorrow. You're focusing on the win. You're thinking about that before you go to bed. You're taking whatever happened during that win, you're taking that feeling, into your next day. You're bringing that with you, and you're leaving everything else behind. When those bad things are happening, when that downward spiral is spiraling, it's gonna feel like a never-ending cycle. And those feelings are valid, but nothing stays the same forever. Things will always change. And in this case, that is the best piece of hope that you will have to get you to the other side. Let me show you my cat real quick, because what the heck is he doing? This is so funny. Like, bro, you okay? Are you scared of death? I know that one seems random from where we were just at, but I find this to be an intriguing question. I don't know why I've always loved asking people this question, maybe because I've never necessarily had a fear of death, but more so a fear of how I'm going to die. When you ask people why or if they are afraid of death, many of their reasons align with, oh, it's because I don't know where I'm going. It's because I don't know if there is anywhere that I'm going. Or I know what exists and I'm scared of where I'm going. But I think the less talked about reason for being scared of death is because you're afraid that you're not going to finish what you came here to do, that you're not going to fulfill the certain things in your life that you had to achieve, fulfill that goal, fulfill that dream. You'd think with so many people feeling that way, people would be less scared of living truly, living authentically, living out the dreams that they really want to pursue. Yet so many people are scared of living truly as themselves, and more so living presently, because if you were, maybe you wouldn't fear it so much. And it's crazy because for all the things we could be worrying about death, how we're going to die, when we're going to die, instead of living life to the fullest right now, when we know that we're not dead right now, that we have the ability to live right now, is so crazy. The lack of focus on living how we want to and worrying about everything else going on around us is insane. And if you are doing that, then it's time to change that. While there are things that you want to do, there are goals that you want to hit, there are dreams that you want to achieve, if you choose to live life now how you want to, you wouldn't be worrying about that so much. You would be okay with dying tomorrow. And I say that as someone who is always going to pursue the things that I love and doesn't fear death, fears how I'm going to die, but doesn't fear when or what's going to happen or not living my life to the fullest, because I'm trying to live my life in the best way I can right now. Not just from an external standpoint, not just from a reaching a goal standpoint, but from an overall holistic, what I believe myself to be living my best life. And this leads me to my last point. Do you want to reach a goal or do you want to change your life? Sure, you can stay consistent, you can lock in, you can neglect other areas of your life to get this achievement. You can even burn out maybe to reach this one goal. But do you want to do the inner work to change how you see yourself? Do you want to fight your subconscious beliefs long enough to alter your reality? Do you want to continuously be able to put yourself in uncomfortable situations so that a life-changing opportunity can fall into your lap? The hardest work is done here. It's done here. It's done here. Changing your inner life, because then the goals will be easy. And the problem is, motivation can be so fleeting when you have a goal that you want to complete by a certain deadline and you fail to do it. But when you have a lifestyle that you are trying to maintain, that happiness and security that you are searching for will naturally come through the lifestyle that you are creating. And those feelings will exist before, during, and after you reach any goal. So while it's nice to measure things, to have goals, to have deadlines, realize and understand that those things should align with the lifestyle that you want to create for yourself. And if you're tired of the lifestyle you're living, then this is your sign to start today, to start changing those habits, to start changing those mindsets, to start fighting those subconscious beliefs, to start inserting new beliefs, to start doing things more aligned with your intuitive self, more aligned with your authentic self, so you can live life to the fullest. Isn't that what we're here to do? As you get older, you see people around you pass away, whether they're close to you, whether they're not, and it makes you hyper aware of your own mortality. And that should never be a push to rush you into anything, but it shows you that you should be living life as if it was your last day here. Of course, we plan for the future, of course, but to be present day to day is important, because you don't know how long you have. So this is your sign to start now. I'm not trying to fearmonger you with death. That's not the point. The point is to focus on living. And if you're not doing that, then what are you doing? I know the screen went black, but I wanted to end on a little bit of a dramatic note. I'm so sorry, but I can't end without my little outro. Regardless of the tough love today, which we all need. We all need it every once in a while. I hope you enjoyed, so give this video a like and leave a comment of what you plan to start today. If you are serious, if you are about to lock in, if you are ready to change your life. Subscribe for more. Join the family over here. We do a little self-care. We do a little motivation. Sometimes we have a little fun and we do whatever the fuck we want to do. So, wherever you're at, whatever time it is, good morning, good evening, good night. I love ya, and goodbye.